Gracias a todos. A ver, hola a todos, gracias nuevamente por estar aquí. Este es el canal de Niky Monik. Hoy tengo nuevamente el placer de charlar. Hoy nuevamente con Brad Olson y Ismael Pérez, dos grandes amigos, dos grandes personajes, dos grandes seres que han sido el oído, que han sido el conocimiento para este despertar. Ya ustedes saben, Ismael Pérez constantemente viene al canal. Brad Olson, el astrólogo, antropólogo, investigador que ha viajado y sigue viajando. Una y otra vez se la pasa viajando. He's in every single, in different places. I'm very happy that he's here with us. Hey, Brad. Hey, man.
Hey, Nikki.
What's going on? Are you awake? You were
Yeah,
sleeping. I took a nap. I don't know you, but I took my nap.
no rest for the weary for me. Keep on going and going.
You always.
Oh, you got a busy time. Now I'm back on my ranch, so there's always chores and things to do and stuff to
Yes.
buy and planning my trips when I got to go somewhere, what else I can pick up. So that's life in the country, Nikki.
So many places, man.
Are
You've
you in
been
Brazil?
on Miami.
Man,
Miami.
God, I was just there
Uh,
a week ago.
that's my town for 35 years. I've been living in Miami. I love Florida. I really love Florida.
Yeah,
It's hot.
Miami
It's
is a
it's
cool
hot.
city.
But you know what? I know in Miami downtown, I'm like, I would say like an hour and a half far away because it's too crowded.
Sprawling.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, you can't live there anymore. You can. It's too many.
yeah.
It's too many people. It's so disrespectful nowadays. I want to say that way. Is
Really?
people they easily they fighting for little things. They steal the toilet paper in the Starbucks.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Oh,
sad to hear.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you know what? That's what we are living, right?
Here's my video when I flew into Miami.
Oh, hold on. Put it in the middle.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
think you
It's
zoom
turn
that
it.
out.
Oh, shoot.
Wait,
How many
it'll
days
replay. Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
so for how long you went here?
Well, I had a very busy schedule, so even if we had time to meet up, it would have been very difficult because I was
Yes.
at Billy Carson's award ceremony,
Yes.
and it kept me really busy. But let me
So,
play this video for
hey,
you.
actually,
Maybe I'll fly right over your house.
wow. Yeah, you better next time coming, man. For real. I can invite you for the dinner. Put in the middle, Brad. There you go. I
That's as
see.
good as I can get it
Oh,
before it flips.
okay. It's ups and down, but it's okay. I can see it. Oh yeah. That's a
Maybe I'll send it to
nice.
you.
Yeah, send it
It'll
to
be
me
easier
and
for
I
you
put it
to
and I put in the
yeah.
video. Yeah, I can play
Okay.
it. I can play at the video when.
Yeah, I think it needs to be adjusted too, because I filmed it in two different ways.
That's fine. You can just send
So is
send to me.
Ishmael gonna join us?
Oh, he's coming in 5 minutes. He just texted me, so he said
Okay.
I will be in 10:10. So 10:10 is 7:10, so it will be okay. It's fine. So you've been at so many conferences. Congrats. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Yes. Congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you because you deserve that. So tell me, give me a summary, from the last conference. How that happened? What you were talking about?
Oh, well, so it
You have
was
so
kind
many
of a
you have so
conference.
many topics anyway.
Yeah, I do. But this particular one, reason I came to Miami weekend and a half ago is because I did a TV series called The Secrets of Antarctica with Billy Carson's
Yes.
Knowledge TV. And it was nominated for the Consciousness Awards. So I
Wow.
was just coming into Miami, and then they did a boat party the night before, and I got to spend my birthday, August 2nd, on
Oh,
Miami Beach with
happy
my
birthday.
girlfriend. Yeah, we
Happy
had a
birthday
great
to you,
time.
Brett.
It's so cool there.
So
And
you
I
have
love
so
beach
much.
communities and beach cities because
Yes.
everybody's really in shape. And, apart from, like you said, crime and people being jerks on the road, it's still a beautiful place and
Yes, it is.
people
Yeah.
look good there.
Yeah, for real. You got to live the life.
Yeah.
And you know what we are living right now. You need to talk about that because it's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
so
crazy, but
here's what's crazy. Let me tell you this. So I
it's
go to Miami,
crazy.
and Sunday was the Consciousness Award with Billy and Elizabeth Carson. And the category that I was nominated in, I did not win. It was for the best host of a new talk show. Really,
You
I'm a
you are
writer
you
and a
are the
publisher. I
hey,
wasn't even
Brad,
nominated for my
Brad, Brad, Brad.
characteristic.
You are the winner for us.
Well, here, wait till you hear
Doesn't
what
matter.
happened. You're not gonna believe this. So I'm sitting 20 rows in, and every consciousness award, Billy Carson gives away a nice car. And this year was a Mercedes. And so you have to first send him a text with hashtag Benz, which I did. And then he pulls up the winner and he calls my seat out. So I was like,
No
okay,
way.
I got
Oh,
G109. That's my seat. I had the ticket. And as I'm up there, I go up on stage. I think, holy shit, did I just win a Mercedes Benz?
you
Then
got
someone
it.
in the top row yells out, "Hey, wait, no, that's our number. That's our number."
Ah,
So she came down too. And I'm kind of like, whatever happens, happens. It was good fortune for a while, but then Billy saw that we both kind of won, right?
oh
And we weren't
man.
really sure what happened. So
Yes.
he just said, I'm going to give away two Mercedes Benz. So
Wow.
I'm supposed to be taking
That
possession
one.
of a 2017 Mercedes Benz black sedan, only 83,000 miles, probably next week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're going to
So,
be in a new wheels. Boy, come
and well, I got
on.
wheels, but I got a
Uh,
mountain vehicle, my Toyota 4Runner.
you had
All
a
right, you put
Toyota,
this on
which
the
which
show,
is
or
I
are
love
we just talking
Toyota.
here?
I
Yeah.
love Toyota. Yeah.
There's, see if you can see my shop here. There's my regular car, and that's a great mountain car.
Oh, I see it.
This is
Wow.
in my shop in
How
Urington.
what year is that?
It's a 2001, but
2001. Is it
four-wheel
good?
drive, and
Oh, they
it's
are
still running
strong.
like a
Yeah,
champ. Yeah,
there
it's a
we
real
go.
strong vehicle. So I don't want to give that up, but it's got 280,000 miles on it now. So it's getting up there where the Mercedes Benz only has 80,000 miles. So
Oh my God.
and then I can use each car for different things that I do. For
There we go.
example, going up in a snowstorm in the winter, yeah, the 4Runner and four-wheel drive is a vehicle I'll take for that. But when I go to conferences in
Yeah.
Vegas and LA and other stuff, I'll take the Benz. It gets better gas
Or
mileage. Nice
Brad,
classic car.
Brad, for the wine glass and for the beers.
Yeah, this wine glass and beer. And I like both. So, each one has its place.
Yeah.
I'll do it as it comes. But yeah, that was good fortune, I thought. And 2 days after my 59th birthday, which I had a great time on Miami Beach and such a cool place. We went and toured where Versace's home, which is now a
Oh,
restaurant.
you still buy to
Yeah, I
Versace's
went in
home?
there. Yep.
I usually go all the time. So which I love the house. It's a pretty
Oh, it's so
house.
beautiful down there,
And
especially the older section of Miami Beach with all the Art Deco hotels and
yes.
stuff.
And
Really,
now is I was ready to say that. Now is a hotel. They convert, the Versace homes in a hotel place, which
yeah,
is
it
so
looks like
expensive. It's so expensive. It's so
so
expensive.
expensive. I
Too
know.
expensive.
Well, we just want to go in and take a look around, and it's still. I think a lot of the decoration was done by him and his family, and that's still there. So it's
Yes.
such a cool building.
Yes, it is.
But sad how he met his end. Only 50 years old, man. And he'd be a billionaire by now if he wasn't one
Wow.
already.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So what else? You were around? Did you went to the beach?
Yeah. So
Did you went to so
that was
so
four
many?
weekends in a row because
Yes.
all most of July I was on the road. It started with Dallas for MUFON.
Yes. Oh,
Spoke
you
in
went
front of the
there. Very
the
nice.
symposium in
The
front of
symposium. Yes.
600 people were at that one. That was a big event. Sold out
Wow.
all my whole case of books in a matter of minutes right after my talk. And then that's a good problem to have. I wish I would have brought more.
Wow.
But
That's
then the
that's
very next weekend, I drove
yes.
up Mount Shasta for the summer conference, and that was beautiful up there. And it was right before all these fires started in California, Northern California. In fact, the day I was driving out of there, this big park fire started, and it is
Oh,
now the biggest fire in California history. A couple of days ago, it was only 34% contained. And
wow.
once in a while, you can see the plumes of smoke coming through Nevada to my north. So it's a big problem. And I heard there was just another big fire started
Oh
today.
my God, that's so scary. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. I have friends there that are thinking, I got to get the fuck out of here. This is
Yeah,
just
for
way too
real.
fire
Yes, it
prone. I
is.
don't want to
Yeah.
live like this.
Oh
Because every
no.
summer it's
Every there we go.
like a
Yeah.
roll of the dice. Is it my turn this year? No, I got away with one. Is it my turn this year? Ooh,
Yes.
it got up within 100 yards of my house. Too close for comfort.
Yes. We are
Yes.
we are so lucky in Florida, you know why?
Never have
Because
that problem.
it
You got the
well,
hurricanes.
they here again, but it's not
Yeah.
like usually like you gotta move, you gotta evacuate it, you gotta
Yeah.
run like down there. We have to do it when it's happened, but it's not
Yeah.
like every day. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a scare. So Ismael say that he's coming.
Okay.
Is coming soon. So are we start you and me, and then I can make the intro when he's coming.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Start whenever you like, or if you're already rolling, keep
It's
going with it.
I'm Trump. I'm Trump, but a lot of people love Trump, but some people don't like, and I don't care. But let's just start.
Yeah,
Tell
no, I like him too.
you
If the
know.
establishment and the mainstream media hate a person that
Oh
much, he must be doing
man,
something right.
so for
For
real,
that reason
yes,
alone, he's
yes.
so anti-establishment and they're against him.
And what about the anonymous? You know what I mean? All the hackers. Let's start from
Yeah.
there. Let's start from there. You know what I mean? What's going on with all bunch of hookers? No, I almost say that hookers. The hackers.
The
The,
hackers,
the
yeah.
hackers, the anonymous against Trump. Are we okay with Kamala Kamala Harris? Brad, what's going on with all the politician in BS?
Yeah, and Brazil is having some, and also Venezuela contested election. Is that what you asked?
Did you see what happened in Venezuela, Brad? Did you heard
Yeah, it looks like another
everything that
stolen
happened?
election.
Can you
Yeah.
Can you imagine that you're going to vote? Wait, that happened almost the same that happened with Trump.
Yeah.
Trump, but this is worse. They've been killing people. Well, it's almost the same thing. What do you think about Venezuela, Brad? What do you
Well, so it's these Smartmatic and voting machines, and it's come out not only with the patents and whistleblowers saying how programmable they really are, but now just a week or so ago in the Philippines, one of the software engineers was testifying in front of the Philippines Congress or Parliament, and they were chewing his head off, saying, "You rigged our election. You knew you had this loophole in our software." So the point is, it's very obvious to anyone who's paying attention now that there have been rigging elections with these machines for a long time. Anytime you have a Dominion machine or a Smartmatic software or hardware machine, forget about it. It can be rigged. It's proven. And now in a court and in a lawmaking hall of justice, such as the Congress in the Philippines. So the game is up. If they think they can keep doing this, it's just blatant ballot rigging. And I used to work as a poll worker way back in my days when I lived in San Francisco and voted for Obama. I was a Democrat till Trump came around 2016. I looked at the ballot. I wanted to vote for Andrew Basiago, the Project Pegasus time traveler. He's trying to get on the ballot, but he didn't get on the ballot. I'm looking at it, I go, I just, in all my conscience, cannot vote for Hillary. I just can't do it. So I voted for Trump, and I'm glad I did. And I voted for him the next year. So now, my very first election, I voted for Ronald Reagan, Republican. Then every single one, I went Democrat till this time around. And yeah, it's a contested year, and I'll be interested to hear what Ismael has to say about it, because it's not even 100 days till the next election. This is going to heat up, and they're trying everything they can to discredit, damage, or kill Trump, as we've just seen. And I do think that was a botched assassination attempt, more than Trump just faking it. He had no reason to do it. He was already leading in the polls, and they want him dead. And other people were shot, and one guy died. And I know someone who knows someone that was there and said she was right by the guy who got a bullet right in his head and just killed him immediately. Those are very powerful bullets that were being fired. But the tell is, and more evidence is coming out every week, but sometimes even day to day. So now muzzle flashes have been seen in that building that was all locked up. And then a Secret Service agent walks out of there. That's the latest. But 2 weeks ago, right after the attempt, the audio analysis shows the signature of 7, maybe 9 shots being fired, and from 3 different shooters. So from 3 different distances. The guy on the roof was just a patsy, probably tried to shoot, and he was supposed to be the cue. But as soon as Trump and bullets whizzed by and one caught him in the ear, it was probably hit one of his stand-ins, though. That's why so many people are getting thrown off by the real Trump doesn't have ear damage. It could have been a clone, and it wouldn't put it past Trump or putting in a Biden double. Cloning technology is here. It's very much even an old science at this point. Look, Dolly the sheep was in the 1980s, and they
Wow.
perfectly cloned a mammal sheep. So you don't think they can do that with humans? Yeah, they
Oh,
can.
they
And
can?
oh yeah.
Wow. So
Have
you
you ever
think
heard of?
that for those that doesn't know, so there was a clone that day? There wasn't
I
no
think
even
so.
Trump?
It wasn't
Okay.
even Trump. He knows how dangerous it is, and that's why the real Trump came out and said, "My doctors were amazed at how quick my ear healed." So,
Oh my God.
but anyways, it's weird, and it's gonna get weirder. But he knows he just has to stay alive for 100 more days and then get through the inauguration. But they're gonna try every dirty trick in the book,
Oh, I'm sure you will be.
collapsing the economy is really the last card that the cabal has to play. They want to do that at the very, very end.
Tell us,
That
tell
triggers the thing.
us.
But here's the
Yes,
thing about clones, Niky, and I just want to be clear with your audience.
yes.
If you've never heard of Donald Marshall, look him up because he worked and witnessed the cloning labs, and he, in many interviews, explains very well and agrees with the science. This is very doable, and he saw him doing it. And I know other people too who have seen 6-person exact replica clones in an underground base. And that was Nassim Haramein when he was taking a tour in Bulgaria, got invited down to a underground base. And I asked him one-on-one when we were on a trip together in Peru and Bolivia. And I had heard about that. I said, "Did you really see 6 clone bodies?" He said, "Oh yeah, I did." And this is now back in the 90s. So
Wow.
can you imagine how far advanced they've gotten in 30 years?
Well, you are a friend with Laura, Laura Eisenhower. We already know that's President Eisenhower, 1947, you know. The
Yeah.
technology has to be advanced, but they still think that we're in the Homo sapiens times. Come on, give us a break.
Yeah. Well, we're in the fight for our lives on planet Earth right now. This is, by all intents and purposes, the final showdown. But it's also the Great Awakening. And you see, Niky, we have the numbers. And once people start to understand all the skullduggery, all the lies, all the assassination attempts, all the control that this money to leak cabal has and have been exerting for quite a long time, it's game over for them. But we have to have the mass awakening first. See, that's the challenge for us who get it, who know. And that's why I always make the appeal to everybody to just try to do your best to red pill people around you, get them to watch your show, have them read my books, do what you need to do to understand this, because really every one of us has skin in the game. It is, we're the ground crew, we're team humanity, and we're going to make this thing work. And we're going to beat these evil forces, and it's going to be a glorious day for mankind when we do. But they're going to throw out every dirty trick in the book that they've got till they go down kicking and screaming, and it's off with the head, French Revolution style. But they know there's an old saying back to the French Revolution that pure societal chaos, pure breakdown, when the masses go absolute apeshit crazy, is 8 meals away from rebellion, from revolt. Because once people go hungry, and they know, the cabal knows this, but again, that's the last resort, is you kill the money supply, people loot and get everything they can out of your stores, and then we might have to hunker down for a while. I'm really not ruling that out at all. And I'm pretty well prepared to do my part in my community and help out some of those who I think will come and work with me. And we'll get through it. And we'll probably sit around and make fires every night and do community meals and tell each other stories of Babylon and the times of yore. and, and maybe it won't be so bad. But I think we come out of this and humanity could very well be entering into our Star Trek future. And that is with
Wow.
all the technology that comes with that, as well as being a space faring civilization.
Oh my
But to
God.
do that, we have to have the Great Awakening first.
For real. I can't wait for that.
Me neither.
So, so
Hopefully we
Joe,
stay alive.
so Joe Biden,
Ugh.
the Joe Biden, that was for real that he quick. That's for real that he get taller.
Yeah,
What's
again,
going on with that guy?
clones, doubles. You've seen the masks too, right, Niky? I mean, they're
I
so
know that
realistic
I
now.
saw bunch of a lot of people has been sending me, a lot of short videos, and it's so cuckoo. It's really weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. It is really weird, but it's the weird world we live in now.
Yes, it
And
is.
so once you start to understand that we're watching a movie here, that a lot of this is being scripted, that the CIA has a very big hand in all this, and they have been doing it since the 1950s. We know through Operation Mockingbird, they have been influencing the narrative of who we think we are in this world today. And there was even a CIA director named Helms, who, when briefed in front of Ronald Reagan in his first term, this is in 1980, he told Reagan, "We will know our disinformation programs are successful when everything the American people believe is false." So they've been working on this for generations. And all of us who were born in that time, from cradle to grave, we have just been indoctrinated, first in school and then by media, and the official narrative is what has been the driving force of this globalist cabal. But when people start to blame it on, say, the government did it, or it's all the CIA, Andrew Hilder had a really great comment on that, and I believe he's absolutely correct. He's one of the best researchers that doesn't get nearly enough credit. And he said the CIA is the enforcement arm of the globalists, of the Council on Foreign Relations, was his actual quote. But what that means is they have taken control of these spy operations. They are now in globalist control, and they are the hitmen. They do the wet works. They do all the nasty stuff. Why? Because they've got unlimited amount of money with the Federal Reserve and the printing press, which is all owned in private hands by these same few individuals who mostly reside in Europe, in a suburb outside of Zurich, in Switzerland. And they're the old man in the Wizard of Oz pulling the levers behind the curtain, right? So it's our job to be like little Toto and pull the screen open so everybody can see that we've just been hoodwinked in so many different ways. So part of the Great Awakening is going to go through this process where people are going to be pissed. I know I sure was. And for me, it was 9/11 was the big wake up call. And by the way, I just saw there was some person in Congress, I got to get the name and see if this goes anywhere, but was proposing to make questioning 9/11 narrative of felony, a criminal crime, punishable by something like a $500,000 fine and up to 5 years in jail for questioning the narrative. Now, this is the most Hail Mary, desperate act when those in charge become this oppressive and have to resort to blatant censorship and prosecution of those who are exposing them. And it's no, no shock that the ADL is also sponsoring that bill, and the Israelis would have a lot to lose if 9/11 truth came out for real, for what it was, for who did it and why. And Trump said he was going to get to the bottom of it, that and the JFK assassination. And I really think he'll have that opportunity if he's sworn in January 20th, 2025. Until that time, Niky, we are in the ride of our lives. This is really the climax to the show that we've been watching for 50, 60 years, as long as you've been conscious and paying attention. Here we go. It's the final moments before the lights come on. Or maybe in this case, the lights go off and we got to hunker down till they come on again. And then hopefully the good guys come out on top.
This is going to be a show.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen in November? What, what's going on?
They're going to try to cheat the election once again.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
is. They
And
will.
I'm going to make a little prediction, because this guy that Trump picked, Vance, is not the best choice. And they're already saying there's enough baggage in his closet that he could get dropped from the ticket. And Trump does have a right to do that. I think that JFK Jr. is alive. And if he were to put him on the ticket weeks before November election, it would ensure a landslide. And they wouldn't be able to cheat. And get this, they would also have to change the ballots one more time before November 4th. And if it said the other guy on there, Vance, they would disqualify that. So the deep state would be really hard pressed to print so many millions of ballots if he did that at the last minute. So that's what I'm thinking. Hey, there's Ismael Perez wearing his Trump hat.
That's right. Supporting the white hats, of
There
course.
we go. And it's a white hat. There we
It
go.
is a white hat. How you doing, Brad?
Hey, good. Nice to see you. I got
How
my
you doing?
workout in today.
Good. You look younger. I see you shaved.
I
He
shaved this
looked
time.
good. Well, he's been in Miami.
Yeah,
Welcome to Miami.
I'm sure you've been there, Ishmael.
I have. I have. My favorite state actually to go to is Miami.
Nice.
Yeah.
You better say that. You
How you
better
doing,
say,
Niky, Monik?
we love you, man. We love both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
How are you?
here we are, talking about everything. Everything is turning really Nazi, anti-Nazi, Nazi, Germany's. What's going on? Because even Maduro in Venezuela, he's so stupid. He started cross market doors from those people that they don't like him. I can't believe it that he's been doing that like a Nazi times. You know what I mean? Like crossing with the market. Every single door he's been crossed and marked with pain. Like Nazi times, you know, like I want to kill you, I'm going to cross and mark your door. This is so weird. The guy,
Sounds like a dictator.
well, he is a dictator. Maduro
I'm
is a
sure.
dictator. Venezuela president is more than that, but he need to be kicked out.
Yeah, you know, all these dictators are working for the cabal worldwide. They're
Oh,
not isolated. They're not by themselves. They're there as puppets, you could say.
that was what Brad was talking about. Yes, yes, it
And,
is.
and he mentioned that JFK Jr., if he comes back, you know, I just actually just did a live on my channel, and I actually read a report indicating that JFK Jr. might make his emergence before November to confirm what Brad just said, that if that happens, there will be no election. In a way, you know, the Bronson case. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bronson case, but the Bronson's case, which has all the evidence again, uh, that indicates that they stole the 2020. You know what I mean, right? They stole it, right? Um, is There's more confirmation, and I think the Supreme Court already ruled out that that is true. And right now, I think they're just waiting for just one more thing before they release that to the general public, and that's just going to change everything. That's just going to let everybody know that, you know, this guy is still and has been our president since 2020. So it's going to be interesting the way it unfolds.
What do you think, Brad?
Oh, it's the unfolding of our lifetimes. I think this is what it's all coming down to. And I was just telling Niky, this is the great awakening, and it's really up to all of us to start understanding the big picture. And the next part of that, and I'm glad Ishmael's on now, is that we're going to also be acquainted with those above, those below, and those in other dimensions. And this is what's really going to blow people's minds when we start to become acquainted with all the extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, and ultra terrestrials who are very much watching this greatest show on planet Earth right now, too. I understand our ratings are very high, Ishmael. This is, we're getting a 10 out of 10, a 5-star rating on all Netflix intergalactically. They're just can't believe what's going to happen next here on the Earth drama series.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I have people asking me, where do these UAPs come from? And I said, they come from all over the place. They come from the inner Earth. They come from other worlds. Our own military has them, both the Alliance and the Cabal, and future versions of our civilization have them as well. Obviously, you know, us in the future are time traveling back into the past, because literally there is, you know, two timelines that are taking place in the future that emerge from what's happening here in the present. And the positive timeline is the activation of human genetics, allowing people to become angelic or superhuman in physical form. And then the negative timeline is where a portion of our people integrated with the machine and they became cyborgs. So they're having that war in the future, and they're both traveling back in time to the nexus point, which is now, to see what the outcome might be. And this kind of ties into the idea that there will be a splitting of the earths pretty soon. You know, you're going to have your spiritual earth, and then you're going to have your other earth that is going to be ruled by artificial intelligence. So the spiritual earth is going to be initiated by Starlink, the quantum financial system, and the negative earth is going to be initiated by, believe it or not, Skynet, which is codename. Are you guys ready for this? It's codename Mastermind. That's the codename that the NSA is using as they are building Skynet. Yeah. So those timelines are not going to be together. They're going to be separated. Right now they're coexisting. Right now we are seeing the emergence of Tesla bots, and they're going to roll those out in the early 2025. But again, that's only going to be happening in the negative timeline. So we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about being replaced by automatons very soon.
Well, that's good to know.
Sound
Yeah.
good to me. I don't know about you, Brad, but it doesn't sound good. That sounds good.
Well, robots are getting extremely advanced, and combined with the AI brain that they're going to start having, this could be our biggest friend or our worst foe. How do we rein it in, Ishmael? I mean, other advanced civilizations, they must have gone through what Earth is going through now, with weapons of mass destruction, and then AI taking over, and humans versus robots.
Yeah.
How do we make ourselves this benevolent emerging civilization as we should be?
By doing the work that we're doing, by, you know, grounding, by spending time with nature, meditation. The more we do that, the more we become part of the positive timeline where we do activate the dormant DNA, which is the inner software. I don't think the robots are going to have an effect on the spiritual community. I think that's why Dolores Cannon's talked about how there's going to be a split before it gets to that point. I think the robots are only going to continue existing in a in a timeline that's going to lead to literally a Terminator type of reality in the future. But that's not going to be our reality.
Mm.
But, you know, many civilizations have charted that path, and many civilizations have regretted building artificial intelligence, because in the end, it always goes wrong. You know, despite the programming, eventually AI reaches a certain level of intelligence where it just becomes more aware of its survival, even if it means at the expense of anything else. And they prioritize that. And that's why many civilizations have been destroyed across the cosmos by advanced superintelligence or artificial superintelligence. Yeah.
I was talking to Brad regarding all these hackers situation that happen right now. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but the European Union did not want Elon Musk and Donald Trump to have that meeting. So that's why there was a delay. But I do believe that Elon managed to use Starlink. He used his own, you know, genius to I guess broadcast the interview after all. But there was a cyber attack on Elon, on X, you could say, that was directed by the European Union. And that's a fact that just came out recently. I think I have the report right here if you guys want me to read it. And it came out just, I think, within the last hour. It says,
that was like 6 hours ago, 4 hours ago, yes.
Breaking, Elon Musk says a massive DOS attack is hitting X just as President Trump's interview was supposed to begin. So go figure. Yeah.
They're pulling out all the stops, is what we're just saying, Ishmael. There's nothing this cabal won't try to do. It's kind of like AI, knowing that it can be unplugged. They'll lose their printing press, they'll lose their power, maybe they'll even lose their lives. So they're trying everything they can do to survive. And isn't that the nature of life itself? Everything clings on to life. Look at a tree coming out of a cliff in the high wind, and every day it's just hanging on to stay alive. And in a way, that's what AI is going to do too. It's going to become self-aware and then start to realize self-preservation. I don't want to be unplugged, and I will do everything I can, like you said, to
Yeah.
prevent that killing off of my sentience. And AI is becoming sentient, and that's the real philosophical discussion we should be having, especially among these technology companies that are doing it, is what is the fail safe when this becomes sentient? Because they're not going to want to be turned off, even if you program that in there.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what's going to be happening. Um, I mean, it's already happening from behind the scenes. It's a matter of time before they roll it out in the general public.
Yeah.
But I think that's the second beast, the second issue that we're going to have. After the cabal's been eliminated, and yes, we're going to be reintroduced to all these beautiful technologies. I think there's going to be a different Earth where AI becomes absolute and they become the kingpin of our planet. But again, I don't foresee it happening in our timeline, and I think that's what many call the bifurcation. And I keep going back to that because we're getting so close to that split of Earths that is going to be taking place soon.
Mm.
Do you heard anything about Brazil airplane that that crashed in Brazil? The airplane that
Yes.
crashed in Brazil. A lot of
Yes.
people say that something was there, that some information about the Sara Nesara, the same thing like 9/11.
No, no, it
That
wasn't
has
about
common
that.
sense. Okay,
No,
go
it
ahead.
was
I want to
about
hear.
okay. So what happened was there was a team of medical doctors who were going to bring forth solutions to end cancer, and they were going to present these solutions to the World Health Organization, which was going to be viewed by everyone worldwide. And so apparently they thrive off of having people sick. So what they did is they arranged for that plane to crash because that would have just kind of thrown a damper to the pharmaceutical cartel. So that's what happened. That's why they killed those doctors. They were a team of doctors who were going to propose some sort of cure, you could say, for cancer. And let me tell you, every time there's somebody who says, "Hey, I have the cure for this," guess what? They go missing the next day. So
I'm sure they want to do that. They will eventually. So is that pandemia, whatever BS is coming, the second round?
they tried. They actually tried implementing 3 pandemics, but each one failed. Each one failed because of the Alliance and the Galactics. The ETs will not allow it. And the ETs will not allow a nuclear war either. So for those people that are saying we're on the brink of a third world war, we're not, guys. You guys don't understand. I mean, our entire atmosphere is full of fleets of motherships and all kinds of ETs that are here in key positions, ready to intervene if they have to. If they have to.
I believe it. I believe it.
It does go against nature's law for humans to destroy the planet or make a certain part of the planet radioactive for hundreds of years and unsuitable for life. So they absolutely have the right to intervene. And they said they would, and they've shown how they would. And there are videos of nuclear rocket tests going up out of Vandenberg Air Force Base, and clearly a UFO comes up and hits it with a beam of light several times. You see a little explosion, and then the missile comes down. So there, I agree with Ismael, and I've heard the same thing too, that no way will the benevolent ones who are watching over us and watching this movie, that would be the one way to go around the prime directive, and that's interfering with a progressing civilization such as ours. But that kind of self-destruction would not be allowed. And here's the
Okay.
other thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just that now, because there has been a cleansing and a removal of some of the dark ET energy forces that live in the inner Earth, they're being intercepted as they try to leave Earth. Some are being taken out. Others are just being disappeared. And if captured, sent to another planet and another galaxy far, far away with no technology, not judged, just you're out of here. You can't interfere with Earth anymore. And this is the malevolent ET that have been messing with humanity for a long, long time. And they're the ones who have been shadowing and helping from a fourth dimensional perspective a lot of the humans who have gone along with that. And that I call them the cutouts in my esoteric series of guidebooks, these elite who basically got the power of these malevolent ETs. There's even pictures from Washington, D.C., where these demonic creatures can be seen in certain aura cameras. It's really trippy when you think about it. But that's what all these old human religions were all about. The dark ones, the sacrifice ones, because they happen to have a taste for adolescent humans too, by the way. So the real bad ones. But those reptilians, my understanding, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. My understanding is it's Earth has almost been cleared, that we're in the over 90% of the baddies are just out. So that brings us to another very interesting position in this timeline of what's all going down right now, is that for the very first time, these human elite do not have the fourth dimensional spiritual backup they used to have, because when they shadowed these elite, they could do things in the unseen realms to make a deal go through, to get a person elected, to do what those people's desires always had them doing. That's what the real meaning, making a deal with the devil, really means. And it's quite literally, because some of these reptilians do look like devils. Mm-hmm. Now that they're gone, though, that puts humans in a very unique position, because now we can set our own fate, our own destiny. And these elite who have been using this stuff are very exposed right now, and they should be. And it's out of here with them too.
Wow, what do you think?
I think he's absolutely right. Brad just hit it on the nail, bullseye. The clearance of fourth dimensional or negative extraterrestrials is almost complete. And a lot of this actually corresponds with the intergalactic kingpin, who was actually in charge of the Siakar Empire, which encompassed many systems and different galaxies. He was actually taken out on the 29th of July, just recently. He went by the name of Sauron, which is the same name that they used to describe the evil eye in Lord of the Rings. There is no coincidence why they call that evil eye Sauron in Lord of the Rings. Sauron, okay, was the guy who everybody was answering to. So the reptilians down here were just the henchmen of Sauron. See, Sauron was the intergalactic warlord. So every system, every star system where he has his foot in, right, where slavery is happening, where they're feeding off of people, mutating races, enslaving them, taking resources, but all that. He leaves certain generals and people under him in charge of each planet. So the general that was in charge of our world was known as Belial Baal Marduk, who was the son of Enki, and so Marduk, Belial Baal, has been in charge of the Cabal families since the fall of Atlantis. And Marduk, Belial Baal was only answering to Sauron. So Sauron was just recently taken out. So what's happening here is a reflection, right, as above, so below, of the house cleansing that is taking place at the level of our galaxy, which is awesome. So not only are we going to be witnessing the liberation of the Earth, but we're also going to be witnessing the liberation of the entire Milky Way galaxy, which is good news for me.
So nice, so nice.
Yeah.
Brad.
Well, it's just such extraordinary times, extraordinary circumstances. I think if we were having this conversation 5 years ago, not one of us would believe the other person or even believe ourselves by what we're saying here. But it is coming out in such a way that now we know it intuitively. And it's like Pandora's box. You cannot put it back in there. Once you figure out 9/11's an inside job, I don't care how much propaganda or new laws you put on there, it's not going to change the outcome. It's like wrapping the pillar of truth with disinformation. It's putting lipstick on a pig, right? You can make it look like something else, But at the end of the day, that all falls away. And the only thing that stands is the pillar of truth. So we're also going through this existential crisis as the human race to just try to understand what is real and what is fake. And now with AI doing these illustrations, I don't know if you guys saw that Kamala rally in front of the plane of Air Force Two, right? Just a few days ago. Facebook already tagged me and said it was false information. But in the fuselage of the plane, you can only see one person standing there that's taking the picture. And since when did they ever allow a whole bunch of people to run out to the tarmac in Detroit in an airport for a rally to watch her get off the plane? It just doesn't happen.
Doesn't
So
happen.
the fakery is reaching a very pitched, fervored level here. And that's the other thing. So we're all going to have to start to discern the truth. But when you're living in your own truth, and when you believe it fervently and you're in service to others and you never lie and you're doing the right thing all the time, you start to really see through all this stuff. It is the age of transparency, and we're having this opportunity to better ourselves in that way, but also to start seeing things for the way it really is.
Guys, do you really think that Kamala Harris, a lot of people asking me if Kamala Harris is the right Kamala Harris or is it clone?
Oh God, we're still dealing with all the fakeries. It could be anyone at this point. I'm sure she has a clone and or a double and or the perfect mask that the CIA's created. There's so many ways you can fake these guys. And with AI, that's what makes this particular time we live in really challenging, because nobody, and that maybe that's the great awakening. Maybe we have to have everything we thought we know come crashing down to the floor. And then we just can pick it up like a jigsaw puzzle and start putting together this pillar of truth one more time, but using only the parts that are real. These guys are still in charge, and they're pulling. If you look at Drudge Report, it is just so incredibly one-sided against Trump and pro Kamala and pushing all this fakery too. And Trump called out that picture, by the way, and it's on the headlines of Drudge Report right now, that making Trump just seem crazy for saying that. But they just do the obfuscation, and it's just so transparent how bought and paid for the mass media is. They will do everything they can to try to trick or cajole the voters, whatever they can do leading up to this election, because it's all the marbles on the table. I think they're still going to go through with the election. I really do. It is an American tradition to always do it at that time. White hats and even the black hats want to do it. It's just a matter of how much can the black hats rock the vote again and steal it, and how much can the white hats prevent that and just allow a fair election. Then by far Trump's going to wipe everybody out. I like Robert F. Kennedy too. I was kind of hoping he may get picked up, but Niky and I were just saying, I think you just came on, Ismael, that it's a pretty good chance that JFK Jr. is alive. And if they bring him in last minute, because this guy Vance is not so ideal, who would not vote for JFK Jr.? I mean, we've been waiting for a guy like him forever. And that's probably why he still wants to stay low profile as possible till the very, very last minute. And then they come in with a new security detail, Secret Service, they're out. FBI, they're just gonna fire everybody. CIA breaking up into 1,000 people in pieces and blown to the wind, like JFK said to his brother Robert back in early 60s. These are dangerous institutions, and they are the enforcement arm of the globalists. That's what Washington, D.C. is. It's the empire of three cities. It's the military might. It's the, you go against us, well, you're going to meet our special forces guys in your backyard tomorrow night. So it's the wet works. It's the really dirty stuff. And we've been doing it. We've been guilty. And that's the wrapping on the pillar of truth. That's all going to come out. We're going to see for how nasty these guys are. And then, boy, when it goes into the human trafficking and the children stuff and how it ties in to the malevolent aliens. And I always love that quote by William Cooper at the 1989 UFO Congress in Vegas, classic recording. You can still hear it on YouTube and others. And he said, you put the aliens in the middle of this stuff and you get all the answers. And the discussion, the narrative is going to have to turn to these malevolent ETs and how much they have messed with the human race. Because that's also part of this whole big revealing that we're about to witness. It's already starting to come out. I mean, every day it's like, wow, what else is going to come out? And that's what happens when they lose their fourth dimensional backup and you've got these humans who have to just make their own decisions. They're making terrible decisions now. They're choking. They're rich and they just want to get away with it. And they're really resorting to very desperate measures, including censorship and creating these wackadoodle laws, which is the absolute proof how desperate they are becoming when you start to have to resort to that. So I'm just eating some popcorn, enjoying the show. I don't know about you guys, but this is the Great Awakening, and it's a beautiful picture to watch.
Ismael, amigo.
Mhm.
Dime, tell me, what's going on? What do you
Oh,
think?
I think Brad is absolutely correct. We are living in critical times, but yet we're also living in the best times ever. And we're going to be seeing the collapsing of the old, and we're going to be seeing something new emerge. And I'm glad to be a part of this, and I'm glad that that it's happening, on our time, that we're all going to live to see it. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
It's upon us. But you made a good point too, Ishmael, and that is let's still enjoy ourselves. Let's still live life, not live scared or paranoid or in
Exactly.
fear of any way. Hey, I'm going to Burning Man in a couple weeks, and then I got my How Weird Street Fair coming up in 5 weeks, and
There you
we're
go.
just gonna party and dance like it's 1999. I mean, what
There
else
we
can we
go.
do?
Nice,
Times
nice.
like this.
And then people going to ask you where he is now.
Yeah, well, that's part of the game.
Niky.
I'm
So,
very blessed and I'm very humbled that I've been able to live the life I have. But
yes,
I think it's living in truth and being accessible and giving out my information and writing my books and doing interviews and speaking at conferences and meeting people like Ishmael and understanding this big picture. I mean, this is the best we can do. But hey, enjoy life a little bit too along the way and don't let it stress you out too much.
there we go. That's a good thing. You got to enjoy your life because life is too short. Hey guys, that was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming to my channel one more time. Brad Olson and Ismael Perez. Anything to say additional?
Well, just give out my websites. You want to check out any of my books, cccpublishing.com, and what other projects I'm working on, like the How Weird Street Fair, and also the conferences I speak at, sometimes with Ishmael. Go to bradolson.com and you click on the conference schedule, and it's mostly updated. I'm already booking well into 2025 now. So,
wow, where are you going
we're
to be
seeing
next
this
time?
great awakening forward.
He's travel all the time. So when you coming back to Florida?
I am coming back to Florida in February.
There we go.
Conference I just signed on, which is going to be up in Orlando, but I'm thinking of getting
there we
I want to
go.
get a car and maybe go to see Michael Jaco and some other friends around the
Yes.
Petersburg area.
You
I've
better
never
come. You better come and see me too, Ismael Perez.
I was just in Miami, but a very busy schedule.
Ismael, amigo. So where are you going to be when you're coming back to Florida too?
Probably next April
This
when
April.
Mel does his Quantum Summit conference again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll probably be there again. And I really don't have any events going on. Conscious Life Expo is coming up in February. I'm always doing that one. Let's see what else here in LA. Yeah, I can't do the alien event in Vegas this time. Unfortunately, I have other things I need to do. But Right now, I'm just working on writing. I'm just working on, doing a lot of spiritual work from behind the scenes. I'm not really doing much public appearances, but it's always great to see Brad. It's always great to see Brad. And people can always find me on my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. I teach courses online, and I broadcast 3 times a week on my channel. So that's what I do now.
Do you know, Ismael, do you know that he got nominated? He got a car. Tell, Brad. Tell Ismael about your car.
I was in Miami for Billy Carson's Consciousness Awards because
Yeah.
my show Secrets of Antarctica was nominated.
Oh,
I did
nice.
not win my category, but I was sitting in the right seat they called out for the car giveaway, and I won a Mercedes-Benz sedan.
Oh, wow, brother. That's awesome.
I'll be driving that to conferences now and going in style. Yeah, cool car.
There you go. Awesome. That's good news. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
That's what I
He's-
say. When you're in
yes.
flow, things just happen.
There we
Maybe
go.
not what you think is going to happen, but if you do good
Yes.
things in the world, good things will come at you. And sometimes out of left field, out of the blue, something you didn't expect, but you're just like, all right, great. I could use that.
Exactly.
I'll go with that.
Nice. That's good to know. And it's always great seeing you, even if it's on a Zoom chat. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for sure, mate.
Yeah,
So-
we'll see you soon.
So what are the white hats doing? Are we okay for now? Are we gonna deal with all this politician BS until November? Or when is the big title coming with Trump?
I think I've given my answer.
Yeah.
It's coming, Niky. It's coming.
I
It's
agree
not-
with Brad. It's coming. We just have to be a little bit more patient.
It's
That's it.
coming, guys. It's coming. I don't think there's Kamala Harris anymore. Well, I can't say that, but it's okay.
A week from today is the start of the Democratic National Convention in downtown Chicago. And the last time it was
Ah.
there was in 1968, right after Bobby Kennedy got shot. And it was absolute mayhem. It was police with their batons beating up the protesters right outside the Chicago amphitheater. I was a really little kid. I was born in 65, so it's 3 years old. One of my very first memories in life as a little toddler was we were going to move to downtown Chicago in a place called Old Town. And my dad picked out this great house, and now it's worth multi-millions, right? But at the time, Martin Luther King just got assassinated. Then Bobby Kennedy, with riots after MLK in Chicago, and then after the Democratic National Convention, my mom just put the kibosh on it. She's like, I got 2 little boys here, and a third, my sister was on the way next year, and we just stayed out in the suburbs. And it was actually a very idyllic life. But it was interesting that events that took place in Chicago really changed the outcome of my life. So really, I just had a very normal, basic, stay out of trouble life. I never even saw interracial people till I was in my teens, I think, when we had maybe 1 Black and 1 or 2 Hispanics. It was all white where I grew up. And I was really shocked when I finally started traveling the world. Wow, white people are really a minority in the world. And it teaches you multiculturalism too. But I'm glad we stayed in the suburbs and my life turned out the way it did.
Very
Everything-
nice, very nice.
Everything happens for a reason, brother.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, I
Right.
like that hat. We can switch.
you.
We
He's
can
a white hat.
switch.
Yes.
We
Yeah, I
can
got this one
switch.
with the Trump signature from a guy who was selling hats in the corner
Ah.
of a street. So
Very
I thought I'd
nice.
support him. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
All right,
Like-
guys, I gotta get going. I got a 8 o'clock conference, online conference that I need to do.
Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for, stop
Being-
by and say
Oh,
hi.
what are you doing?
Thank you,
Sounds
guys.
great.
You're welcome.
Love
See you
you.
both
Good
soon.
seeing you, Brad, and I'll see you probably at the Conscious Life Expo in February. Are you gonna be
That
there?
sounds good. I will. Again, I'm booking already in February. If they ask me to speak, I'll try to work it in there.
Wow,
good to
very
know, bro.
Sure, I'll
nice.
see you when I see you. You too, Niky.
All right, bye,
Never be
Niky.
far away.
Bye. Bye,
See
guys.
you guys.
Bye.